All right, here we go. We are live. Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, my fellow comic book collectors. My name is Chris. This is my channel, We Love Comics, and I have 5 modern books that, in my opinion, you will be crazy to not have, and you could get these easily under $50. Now, of course, I'm not talking about graded books, and certainly not 9.8s, but raw copies of these books you can easily get for $50 and under. And if certain things happen with these books, well, they won't stay that way. But I always say, keep in mind, there are risks involved, especially when it comes to modern speculation books. You never know if something is actually going to happen or stays important, so keep that in mind if you are going to spend money. That's why I always say, try and wait for deals, ask for deals, don't be afraid to do that, and be patient, because if you see a book is too expensive, sometimes you just got to say, you know what, I'll pass. Because that's better than overspending and then ending up with a book that you'll never be able to sell to even get your money back. So please keep that in mind. So while I'm waiting for people to come in, and I want to thank the 5 people already that liked the video. I always appreciate people that do that. Sign up for that cashback program if you haven't. It's free to sign up for, and they're doing a special until the end of this year. Normally, you get a $10 cash back if you spend $25 or more within the first 90 days. But if you click on the link, which is provided in the live chat, it's also in the description, and it's also pinned to the comments section. If you sign up and spend $30 or more within the first 90 days, you'll get a $30 cashback bonus. Just check for restrictions, and you cannot use a best offer for that purchase to qualify on eBay. So just make sure you check and see if it covers for your area. Alright, so I see plenty of people are here. So let's show you the camera, and you're going to see some different things now, because I've actually been spending the past couple of days not moping around or anything, even though some interesting things, and I'll just say the word interesting things, have been happening. All things happen for a reason, but I've actually spent some time setting up my man cave. It's not completely done yet, so I won't show the rest of the room until it's done, but I had all these shelvings, I just never put them together. So as you can see here, here's part of it. It's 4 shelves worth, and there's a bunch more on the other side. Like I said, I'm not finished yet, so when I'm finished, I'll show the rest of the room. So I've been using the time wisely, and my wife was helping me with that. So I still got a lot of work to do with this, but it's going in the right direction, and I have a lot more space in my room for more comics. Now all I have to do is wait for the area to open up the businesses so I can actually start working again. Alright, so with that being said, these are 5 books I bought a couple of months ago, and ones that I definitely recommend getting. So 19 people have already liked it, so if you like videos like this, please make sure before you leave to hit the like button. You don't have to do it right now. But if you like what I'm doing and you want more of these, because I haven't done this kind of video in a while, hit the like button and share it if you can. And don't forget, guys, hit the notification bell. But YouTube is famous for not letting people know. So if you don't see videos in a couple of days, just come back to check, because you'll be surprised at how many people don't know a video was actually out. So if you don't get the notification, you'll just think I didn't make videos. Alright, so enough babbling. The first book I would recommend, that I've talked about this before, this is Doomsday Clock number 12. Now there's 3 different covers. I'm not going to show them all. This is cover B. This is the one I got most of. But there is a cover A, and there is a cover C, which is a blank variant. I always say, if you're not sure which one will be the most popular, I always say get one of each. You can easily get this under $50. I mean, you could probably get this for under $10, because I got it for $9.95. And this is the first appearance of a character that they called Clark, which is basically a combination of Superman and Dr. Manhattan. And there are rumors out there that that particular character could end up involved with Batman Who Laughs. Now, there are no guarantees with that, so I am not going to say that is definite. So please keep that in mind. But you never know, if it ends up being true, these books will go up very quickly. So again, there's cover A, this is cover B, and there is a cover C, which is basically a yellow-colored blank variant. I definitely recommend at least cover B, but get all 3 if you can. Easily you're going to get them cheap. All right, this one is another one of those books that I would recommend getting. Again, this is based on a newer character that they're focusing on. She's about to get a TV show, so you probably know who it is. Not this particular version, but if that show goes well and she ends up in the MCU and it gets more popular, you never know where they go with this. So again, there's risks involved. This is Civil War 2, issue number 4. This is the sketch variant. Now, this one I got signed, so they were nice enough to put in one of those invisible backboards. So right here, for some reason, they had the artist sign it on the back. It's going to be hard to see because they signed it in black. And, you know, but the cool thing is you can actually see the back. But this is the first appearance of the immortal She-Hulk, which, by the way, is coming out with her first solo issue. That's one of the pre-orders that I was telling people to get. So this is her first appearance. This was signed by Kim Young-ji. And again, they signed it on the back, which is just really weird, especially when they decided to do it in black ink. But, you know, one of the good things is if you get this graded, you'll be able to see it. And I like the fact that the seller was kind enough to put it in one of the clear backboards. And so this way you'd be able to see the signature. Because if I would have forgotten that the signature was on the back, because I ordered this a while ago, and I would have been like, all right, where's the signature? Because it's obviously not on the front. And that's something I wrote. I wrote that the signature is on the back. Now, with the signed version, I only paid $37.99. This book is going to be about in the $30 to $50 range. There is a regular cover, and I'm not sure if there are any other variants, but this is considered a variant edition, as you could see right there. So there is a regular cover, but this is the one I'd probably recommend because it's probably got a lower print run, but these days you never know. But this might be a sleeper pick and one I would recommend taking a chance on. And I like trying to get them autographed, or buying them autographed, obviously. I don't go to Comic-Cons, and nobody really can these days. Alright, this is another book. I ended up finding a signed copy. You'll probably pay for an unsigned copy what I paid for the signed one, because, you know, once you find this information, you got to get it quick. But this is definitely a book I would highly recommend. This is the new Avengers Number 7. Alright, let me see if this is a variant. Okay, this is the regular cover. So I'm not sure if there's a variant. I would be shocked if there wasn't, but nothing that I saw. But this is the first appearance of the Illuminati. Now this was signed by David Finch, and it does come with a certificate of authenticity, but there have been rumors that the Illuminati is basically going to be formed in the MCU. Now, of course, we can't guarantee that, and who knows if it will be the same characters in here, but that's irrelevant, because remember, you know, Guardians of the Galaxy pretty much didn't use any, really, except for, maybe one or two of the characters that were original. Yondu was, I know, was one, but he was actually part of the team. He wasn't even part of the team in the movie. And that book still went up in value. So, this is a book I definitely recommend. And what does this say? Constipated in Sin City says, dang it, Chris, sounds like you have a teletype in your office. Oh, yeah, I'm sorry about that. That's my fan. It's kind of stuck. Let me see if I can fix that. Give me a second. There we go. It was a little too far over. Sorry about that. So I paid, even though this was signed by David Finch, right here, I paid only $39.99 for this book. Probably going to be around the $40 to $50 range unsigned. Like I said, you got to jump on these things quickly. But this is definitely a book that I recommend. And this one looks like it's a 9.8 candidate. So I might be thinking about eventually getting this one graded. And we'll see what happens in the movies if that does come to fruition. If it doesn't, you know, sometimes you got to take the chance. But to me, it's worth taking the chance on if you're going to spend the smallest amount on them. So I would definitely consider it. Alright, the last two, I'm going to basically show at the same time. These are definitely books I've recommended. A lot of people have been talking about this book, so this is not anything new, but it's new here. So if you haven't seen it on other channels, or this is your first time ever seeing the comic book channel, this may be the first time you see it. So I never assume that just because information has been out there, that everybody knows about that. So please keep that in mind if you're a person that knows all the stuff right away. There are always new people that will, today might be their first day. And that's why, like, for example, if you ever heard the story of Joe DiMaggio, one of the big questions, which obviously was a very famous New York Yankee, they always said, how come you hustled even till the end? You know, at the end of his career, he still hustled like it was his first day. And he basically said that the reason I did that is somebody out in that audience, when you were allowed to actually go to sporting events, it might be their first time ever seeing him play. So he wanted to give it his all to have that child or that adult or that person, even though he's been around for decades, it might be the first time they ever saw him. And I always thought that was very honorable, and that's how I try and live my life, especially on this channel. Not everybody knows everything. And if you're one of those people that does, well, that's great. But don't assume everybody else does. So the last two books I'm showing at the same time, these are books I absolutely recommend. This is Superman/Batman. This is issue 22. Now, I don't know if there's variants of this book. So these are the regular. And 23. Now, I paid $21.40 a piece. You'll probably find these in the $30 to $50 range. I won't spoil it, and I don't want anybody to spoil it, but it has to do with Batman Beyond. So these are books I want you to research on your own, because I want to get people used to doing a little bit of their own research. But trust me, these are two books you want to get. Now, I bought these a little while ago. Again, these look like 9.8 candidates. But in my opinion, of all of the books that I showed, this is definitely the one that has... That and the Illuminati one have the best chances of becoming something pretty valuable. Like I said, these are already been out there for a while, so I'm not going to sit here and say I'm the first to talk about it, because I'm definitely not. But I might be the first for you. So if you didn't know about these books, and again, it's Superman/Batman, issues 22 and 23. Definitely pick those up if you can. And L Dub says, hey Chris, this is my first time on here and on this channel. You sound like my uncle. Are you from Brooklyn? Well, that's funny that you mention that, because I lived in New York up until actually a year and 2 days ago. September 17th of 2019, my wife and I moved to Florida. So I will be 49. I'm sorry, I wish I was going to be 49. I'll be 50 November 9th. So my first basically 48 and a half years I lived in New York. I lived on Long Island. So yeah, you can't escape the New York accent. And I always said when I was younger, I always said eventually I would move to Florida. Because basically Florida is a warm New York. Because I think it's like mandatory if you live in New York to have to be in Florida at some point in your life. I absolutely love it here, but yes, I definitely can't escape the New York accent. So yes, these are the 5 books. Let me know what you think about them. 30 people have liked it out of 67, so almost half the people watching thought that these videos were good enough to get the thumbs up, so thank you for that. Like I say, always get deals, wait for deals, ask for deals, make things happen. You don't always have to say you don't have money, because money is not the only way to get comics. You can do trades. You can work for somebody, and instead of them paying you money, they can give you a comic book. There's so many different ways. You're only limited to your thoughts. And speaking of which, I actually have a major idea for a world-changing invention. I'm not going to mention it, obviously, because if you put it out on the internet, somebody's going to steal it. But I am going to be, in the next couple of weeks, trying to find a very wealthy benefactor who will put these 2 products up in the world. It has to do with housing, not anything with comic books. But I basically was doing a lot of research on things, and an idea came up that literally could change the world. And I am so motivated. I'm going to be drawing it out first of what I have imaged of this two particular things. I'm going to make sure I mail it to myself first, because the way to avoid spending thousands upon thousands of dollars of getting an idea patented is you can literally write your idea on a piece of paper, get it notarized, have the notary public seal it, sign that one and a duplicate copy, and make sure they say that both copies are the same, have it mailed to you through the U.S. mail, because that's a government entity, and keep it sealed. And make sure they date stamp it on the back. So this way, if somebody tried to steal your idea, you have physical evidence that was notarized, that if it predates theirs, because you never know, somebody might come up with an idea and they did it before you, but if they didn't, they tried to steal your idea, you have the proof that you did it first. So this could end up, if it goes the way I think it does, and if I can get a financial backer for this idea, I basically would be living in the Florida Keys on my own private island. So it's all because of a major idea that I cannot believe people have not thought about. So the reason I'm bringing this up is I want people to understand, or one of the things I say on my other channel is understand, that you are only limited to your ideas. And if you spend your whole life being mad and scared and worried like what the world is trying to put you through, you're never going to spend your time trying to make the world a better place. And I started recently, with all the stress and things that were going on, instead of saying woe is me and crying and all this other stuff, I started getting into meditation and all these different things about inner beings, searching for yourself. And that's why one of the biggest things I did was straighten out this room, because it was kind of messy. It was cluttered all over the place. If you're one of those people that has, hundreds of boxes of comics, and it tends to get cluttered after a while, and a lot of people tend to be hoarders. And it wasn't like a slob's mess. There wasn't garbage everywhere, but it was cluttered. But if you think about that as in the outside world as a reflection of you inside, I needed to do all this stuff to clean it up and organize it and make it neater, and that's like organizing yourself. And that particular night, I went outside like I normally do, and I highly recommend this. I literally sit outside right at sunset in my backyard. All the little stray cats, they all come hanging out with me, which I love. I start to meditate a little bit, and the idea came to me, and if it goes through, it's going to be a world-changing item. So like I said, I cannot talk about it, but I'm trying to tell everybody to trust yourself, trust your instincts. Don't listen to all the garbage, all the anger, all the frustration, all the negativity, because then you're just going to join it, and why would you choose that kind of life? This is the only thing I'm going to recommend. Based on my ideas, will be investing more in physical silver. The items that I am planning will be involved some way with that particular metal. So it's not anything to do with comics. So that's all I'm going to say. But you may want to take the chance in investing in some physical silver, because if my idea goes to somebody, and I already have a person in mind that I want to contact, and they are basically a multi-millionaire, if not a billionaire, and this person is very accessible, and if I come up with the idea and basically say I will do a 50-50 split, basically they would have to put up the finances. But I have the idea, so without the idea, it doesn't matter if somebody has the money. But I would be happily doing a 50-50 split. But if my idea comes to fruition, the price of silver, physical, may shoot up. I'm not going to guarantee that. I'm not saying that somebody will take the idea. But I can't see it as a failure. I've been thinking about it way too much, nonstop. I have the image in my head of the things that I see happening. And when you have that kind of motivation, things happen. Whether you believe in that, that's okay. And if this goes through and it happens the way I did, if that doesn't tell you all the things that I've been trying to teach people, not only on this channel, but my other channel for the past 2 years or so, if that doesn't show you that your mindset changing can give you everything in the world that you want, I hopefully will want to lead by example. So we'll see what happens, but I'm very excited about this. I got to wait a little bit because, like I said, I have to first draw out the plans, then I have to go get it notarized, have it mailed to me, wait about a week, then contact the individual or others if they're not interested or they don't contact me. But I definitely need somebody that has millions of dollars, because I will not be able to put this on the ground myself, because I just don't even have a job, let alone lots of money. And it would cost probably, it would be a product, the main part would be a product for very wealthy people, but the part 2 of it could basically be for anyone. And it's funny because this particular name came to me during that meditation, and I actually looked up the word that came to me, and that idea, or a different version of that idea, already is in existence. So I can actually say that this product can be implemented. It's not one of those where they have to do research to see if it can be done. Now, they're using this particular thing in a different direction than what I propose it could be used for. And it could actually save lives. So I'm very excited about this. So, as you could see with my motivation, I am going to make this happen. And in the next 2 to 5 years, my life will be a complete 180. And I'm going to be looking very forward to that. So one day, you may see a video of me on my tropical island. And you'll know the invention if it happens. And I'll keep you guys posted. But like I said, I would consider investing in physical silver metal. I mean, I invest in it anyway. So even if this doesn't happen, it's still a good thing to consider. But risks are involved with anything, so keep that in mind. I'm telling you what I'm doing, and I'm just making a recommendation. That's up to you. So that's all I have to say. I want to thank the 45 people that hit the thumbs up. 50 people are still watching. So thank you for those that cared enough to listen to my little situation. I wish I could tell you more, but unfortunately with the internet, if I put the information out there, somebody's going to steal it. And this is just something that's too life-changing for me to take that chance, so I apologize. But I'll put it to you this way. If I could make the deal happen, contracts are signed and everything's good to go, you guys will be the first to know about it. So if you didn't jump on the bandwagon in the beginning, you might want to do it later on. So let's do today's surprise subscriber shout out. We're going to go with, give me a second, see if there's somebody that I have not chosen before. Alright, we're going to go with, I'm not sure if I picked this name, but if I did, that's alright. You get a second one if that's the case. But Hal Burkhart, you are today's surprise subscriber shout out. You don't have to be a subscriber, but if you are, that's great. And if you hit subscribe now, that's even better. If you are still here and you heard your surprise subscriber shout out, if you have a YouTube channel, you are more than welcome to post the link in this video. And I will approve it first to make sure it's a site that I would allow other people to see. And if you see a link from the surprise subscriber shout out of that particular video, go check them out, go subscribe, and see what they're all about, because I want to help the community. So thank you very much for listening. I really appreciate you guys. I love the fact that I got 46 likes off this video. Let me know what you think about this. And again, I apologize that I cannot give you the information, but I'm sure many of you understand. So thanks for listening. I hope those 5 comics end up doing well for you. Don't forget to sign up for the cashback program. And do not forget, it is not you, it is not I, it is we love comics. Have fun shopping for those 5 books. and I hope you enjoy the rest of your day. I'll see you next video.